Hello and welcome to another episode of Ukulele AMA. Today we've got a question from a patron of mine named David over at patreon.com. And his question is, on a song I am barring 3-3-3-6 and must quickly change to 0-2-1-1. When I release the bar, there's a noticeable release sound sometimes that I would like to eliminate. Suggestions? And this is a great question. I also had a question similar to this in a YouTube comment. And if you listen, I can actually demonstrate that sound right now. So I'm starting with this chord, 3-3-3-6, barring my index across the 3rd fret, adding the pinky on the 6th fret of the A. And I need to switch to the next chord. And when I do that, it makes this sound sometimes. Terrible, right? We don't want that tone. And what's cool is there's actually a very simple trick that you can start practicing to eliminate this sort of fret sound as you're working. And what it is instead of taking your finger directly off this way, you're going to slide your fingers either up or down the fretboard, depending on which direction you're going. In this case, because we're going from the 3-3-3-6 to 0-2-1-1, I'm going to actually release the pressure, but before I take the fingers off, I'm going to slide them ever so gently down, just a little bit. This process is reducing the friction on the strings, which makes it so that fret noise actually goes away. You can do this just on one string too. If this seems a little complicated, let's go ahead and just take our ring finger, place it on the 5th fret of the A string, okay? And now what I want you to do is you can play that note. And now let's say that you have to play the 2nd fret on the A string with the index finger. Well, if I play that, and then I take that finger off, and I put the other one on, you can hear that it almost sounds like a pull-off is happening just because that friction of the finger on the string is allowing it to ring. And we don't want that here. So what we do instead is we play that note. And then as I release the pressure, before I have it physically come off the string, I'm going to slide it just a little bit downward and come off doing that. And the process of doing this at the same time, coming off and down, allows that friction to kind of be broken up over the string, and it doesn't buzz anymore, or doesn't make that vibration. So if you listen, here it is without it. Hear that little pull-off like sound, right? Versus this. Hear how that doesn't make that sound. And the reason is that movement makes it so that the friction is reduced. So this is one of the most important tricks I'll ever talk about on the ukulele. I can't stress it enough. It makes such a big difference to your playing. And it doesn't matter if you're playing a single note like that or a full chord like this. If I'm playing this, I need to go here. If I just take the fingers off, it's going to create all that sound. But if I instead, as I reduce the pressure, move them and then move to the next place, you hear that it doesn't make that sound of the open strings anymore. It can be anywhere on the fretboard. If you'd like to see your answer, or rather, if you'd like to see your question answered here on Ukulele AMA, feel free to leave it down in the comments below. Also, feel free to check out my Patreon page where I try to prioritize answering those questions. So, thanks so much. Take it easy. I'll talk to you soon.